Nexa Music, truly inspiring.
It's a bigger, better and brighter year for Nexa Music Season 2, and we know that with bigger and more beautiful synergies, only great things happen and positive change becomes our motto. My name is Nirmika Singh from Rolling Stone India, and today we were speaking with Shashank Srivastav, Abhimanyu Radhakrishnan and Juhi Mehta. And today we're discussing all things collaborative and all things strategic. We're also discussing how excellent stakeholderships and partnerships can build a successful ecosystem for creativity. Shashank sir, my first question is to you. Yeah. We know that Nexa Music draws from a brilliant pool of talent, but I know that it's the vehicle and the fuel that drive it. The vehicle being Maruti Suzuki and the fuel being the intent behind the property. Tell me, what is the intent and why does Nexa Music make sense to Maruti?
Well, the brand Nexa, we started about 6 years back. The basic core value being creative and inspiration. So the tagline is create, inspire. And that is actually a sum up of what Nexa truly believes in, which is that if you want to create a better world, you will have to do something new every day. And how does new happen? It happens through innovation. It happens through being experimental. It happens through creativity. And therefore, we decided that the Nexa brand will be associated with things which gives our consumers that inspiration, right, the experience, not just of buying products, but the experience of buying the vehicle. That's why we have associated with music, with genres of lifestyle and travel. And that's how Nexa Music started as one of the genres where we said Nexa Music is a platform which has been created so as to provide to the budding talent of our country a platform, a global platform, a global standard platform where they can innovate and show their creativity and create some music which will be loved by consumers all over the world.
Absolutely, and such a great philosophy to have, to create and inspire. And speaking of creating, Abhimanyu, everyone's talking about the creator economy, and we know that the creator economy in India has its own shape and has its own form, and it can only survive and thrive on synergies. And we see with Nexa Music, it's a beautiful coming together of a very committed brand, of a platform, and a beautiful pool of artists. Tell me how the creator economy looks for a property like Nexa Music.
Thanks for bringing that up, that everybody's talking about the creator economy. We feel vindicated for some reason because we've been talking about it before it was even called the creator economy. And that's why, we think this association is fantastic, and really kudos to Maruti for coming up with the concept of merging creativity and an automotive brand, because, there's that famous Steve Jobs, video which does the rounds where he talks about how Nike is a shoe company, but it was talking about great athletes, and it was a tribute to athleticism and to sports, right? So in a similar way, I think what they've done with Nexa here is it's a tribute to creativity, right, as a brand. And therefore, it was such an easy fit for us because we said this whole creator economy has emerged because for the first time, individuals have the tools of creation in their hand. You have a mobile phone, you have a fast internet connection, you have unlimited storage with YouTube. All these things used to cost a lot of money earlier, so it was hard to be an individual creator of scale. Maybe even forget 20, but even 10 years ago, it wasn't that easy. So today with, so much creativity out there, it's basically the entire creative world has got decentralized. Right. But everybody has the same tools now to at least share their talent at scale with a global audience overnight. And, that's why we're very keen that this partnership with Nexa continue and thrive, because, that's the way I think the future of music and the creator economy will be.
Beautiful, and the future of music it is. Juhi, we know that Nexa Music this year is, I get goosebumps when I say this, really, because we all feel so invested in the property. It's bigger, it's better, the scale has just gone on a different scale altogether. And I think that it's on the counts of 3 Ps that it has really succeeded. I feel partnerships, the platform and the promotions this year have been so beautiful. Tell me, what have been the most heartwarming bits for you?
Firstly, just the success, right? We were testing waters with season 1, right? Nobody knew. We just had this ambition and this desire, and the minute we had the opportunity of creating something new, right? An original English music property. I mean, it's just so close to our heart, right? Like
Right.
Abhimanyu said, we are all about the creator ourselves. So we said, how is it that we can now dip back to our belief and our expertise in working with emerging talent and use that, right?
Right.
In a constructive manner. And so therefore very quickly, right, from a branded project it turned into a passion project, very quickly. And just the success we achieved with season 1 was so heartening. But along with success came a lot of learnings, right? And now we wanted, we knew better, we wanted to do better, and we said fine. So we said. The world is now on your mobile phone. It is, people will consume a lot of content. Discovery is the challenge. So how is it that we can make our content firstly from the content per se, how can we make it richer? So better producers, better audio partners. How is it that we could actually now publish this content and not only have one distribution platform, but take it, across platforms. So a wider distribution. So earlier it was just YouTube, and now we have Instagram, and we have YT and YT Shorts, and we have YouTube, we have Rolling Stone, as various different distribution partners. How do you market that? How do you promote that, to make the discovery richer? We've done all of that.
I feel the rewards are truly priceless.
Yes.
These are experiences and these are collaborations and synergies that no one opportunity can give you, right? It's the multiplicity of the opportunities also, which is why I feel, for musicians, Shashank sir, who have been performing in the English language, they can't believe that something like this has happened. And just the volume of entries that we got this year has just been overwhelming, even for people to select and see, wow, this was the wealth that was in the country itself. Empowering a niche segment of musicianship also takes a lot of courage,
Yes.
right? I want you to talk about why English language made sense, but what it's doing is that it's creating a sustainable model.
Yeah.
So why English?
Yeah, so one of the objectives which we had, and I mentioned it in a while ago, was that we believe a lot of creativity and innovation, innovative ideas exist in our country, but they don't have that platform where they can actually fructify and come before the global audience. And that's the reason why for Nexa, we since we want to have that support that creativity and innovation, it has a very positive rub off on the brand overall brand image as well, and we wanted to give this opportunity to these people who otherwise won't have this opportunity.
Correct.
In fact, a lot of emphasis is placed and an opportunity exists for Bollywood type of genre, but we also believe that a lot of talent exists in India in the English music, and this is original English music. It's not like it is original. And in fact, you'll be surprised, we also have some other properties where we provide platform for young people to show their talent. We have, we associate with lifestyle, like
Right.
fashion. We have the Lakme Fashion Week, which we have associated with. And then there is one program which we started 4 years back. It's called Spotlight.
Right.
And that is also a platform where we give chance to young designers to show their innovation and creativity and support them. So Nexa Music is also part of that overall strategy which we have for the brand. So yes, we will continue. This brand will continue to support and give a platform to young talent, so that the creativity and they can be a real inspiration for others to follow.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing, sir. Because I think all artists look for role models, and what we've done with Nexa Music Season 1 is create role models, young youth icons who now others can emulate. Absolutely. Beautiful. And another thing that you mentioned, sir, was about discoverability. And Abhimanyu, I think you're the best person to answer this very valid question about discoverability. We love the internet, we love the diversity and the depth of talent that it has given us. In what ways do you think Nexa Music has solved at least the challenge of discoverability to some extent, and in what unique ways does it continue to do that?
I think firstly, just by creating an umbrella under which there's an assumption from the audience that it is curated by somebody, because when there's infinite content out there, you're right, it becomes a problem that if everybody can make it, then it's almost as if nobody can get discovered. So first, putting some structure to it, putting a hunt around it, getting somebody like Mr. Rahman to curate it already gives it that some threshold of credibility, that it's not somebody, just generally making a quick reel on their phone, which is also great. That's probably the first level of creativity. But the moment you add that slight, touch to it, that, oh, okay, it's a contest, so there needs to be some level of production involved, some level of expertise involved, where we're not just looking at random people coming up with a slogan, but we are looking at people who are invested enough that they, if not do it full time, they definitely want to give it a crack in terms of becoming a professional. So I think putting some structure around these things is useful. We keep talking about how the internet has democratized things. Justin Bieber is a great example of maybe the first artist to get discovered on YouTube, but he was still discovered by a professional agent at the end of the day. So I think that jugalbandi between professional, hand-holding and guiding, plus the infinite amount of discoverability out there, is the correct mix. So you're saying, yes, everybody can make music, but you still need that editorial eye of somebody like a Mr. Rahman, somebody like, Mikey in this season, to put the finesse onto it to make it a really good product. Beautiful. So I guess it's a mix of the two, not pure UGC, but discoverability of the internet plus some editorial layer. Juhi?
Absolutely. Sure. I think in an era where brands are looking for influencers to come in and endorse their products, here is Nexa actually creating their own pool of influencers, right?
I so
Who
agree.
will always stay loyalists, right, to the brand, right?
And that's a great feeling.
Right, yeah.
And we say this with so much, I think,
of
love
course,
for what
of
we've
course,
created here.
of
Thank
course.
you so much. I really gratitude to you from, the fraternity and the creative community.
Yes.
And you mentioned curation. Juhi, the curatorial prowess that Nexa Music has is beyond compare. And I say this in very simple sonic terms, because what we've done this year is that we have brought, I think, genres that both you and I are extreme fans of. There's electropop, there's a hint of nostalgia, there is retro. Tell me why this curation is in the way it is.
So a couple of different things, when we started to revisit, the new season, we had, the world was just coming out of the pandemic, right? And we had all had really, it was taxing on all of us, right? So that was the environment, and we wanted, to give people something positive, something happy, something rich, right, to look forward to. That was one bit of it. The other was that there was Spotify data that in Feb, on a report published, they were very clearly saying that their listeners between the ages of 28 and 44 were consuming international music way more, right? And by December of the same year, the same Spotify said that the top 6 of the 10 albums most streamed were English, right? So, I mean, very, very clearly, right? So we had data, and then we had that kind of background. So we said, what is it that, what appeals to everybody, right? Something that is warm, something that is a little familiar yet a little new.
Yes.
So that was the idea, right? So we said, we're going to make positive music, we're going to make happy music, we're going to make music that you and I can
as a classic
sing
rock
along.
fan, should I be offended that she seems to suggest that Pink Floyd genre doesn't make you happy? No, I'm kidding.
No, but that was the idea that, let's make music that people can actually sing along when they're driving their Nexa cars, when they're actually out in a club. That was the thought behind curation, right?
Sure.
So, and also another consideration was that I wanted a lot of reels done on our content.
Oh, yes.
Right? So we said we have to give them music that kids will pick up and make reels on, right?
Absolutely. I think it's data. It's also having a human in the loop.
Yes.
Right? And I know Spotify does that, to have that beautiful human touch there. I'm very curious, since you mentioned Pink Floyd, we are like electropop fans. Sir, what music did you grow up listening to, and what have been like your most fondest memories of listening to music?
Actually, a little bit more country music.
Sure. Wow.
So away from the Pink
The rock,
Floyd
yeah.
and
That's
the
amazing,
rock
though.
and the, so more that Kenny Rogers
Kenny
type,
Rogers.
type
Oh
of.
my God! I was going to say
So
Dolly Parton.
that
and
looks
Kenny.
that looks like old fashioned, but
No, not at
it's
all.
not
but it's
old-fashioned
beautiful.
at
It's
all. It's
beautiful.
beautiful.
And by the way, it's also very creative. It's it's not just
Storytelling.
It's very good.
Yeah.
So that's what attracted me when I was really into listening that brand of music.
Absolutely. And sir, one of the biggest superstars of global music, Taylor Swift,
Yes.
comes from country music.
Yes,
So
yes.
country music has just so much contribution, in
Absolutely.
just creating superstars. Beautiful. We also have heard, sir, that there are going to be gigs at some of the Nexa premium outlets. I
Yes,
want more
yes.
dope on that.
Yes. So we're still in that planning stage.
Okay.
We do believe that that could really take the whole proposition of Nexa music to the next level. And it will be something which would obviously attract a lot of attention from the brand perspective as
Sure.
well. And for our consumers, one more great reason to continue connect with the brand, not just by using the product, but also, as I said, the whole experience around
The brand
using
Nexa,
the
yeah.
brand.
Beautiful. Wow. We're really looking forward to it because we've been starved of gigs these 2 years.
Yes.
And we have such great memories of the Nexa gigs that
Yes.
happened in season 1. Really can't
And
wait
such
to be.
rich talent
Oh,
that
yes.
we've been able to curate.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
what an opportunity for them to
Shine,
go
really.
out and actually, shine.
And
right?
build also audiences. I think one of the things that Nexa has done very beautifully and organically is build audiences that now come back for the music and come back for the artists, because research and data also shows that audiences love the artists as much as they love the art. So I think building these beautiful stories, and to that, I think Abhimanyu, we know that at the heart of the creator economy is the creator, right? So championing and empowering the creator is such a beautiful enterprise to take. Also, it gives ample opportunity for you to now empower them as a startup. Is it fair to say that Kyuki is doing that, especially in Nexa Music's umbrella, to really empower and channelize this talent?
No, Kyuki's raison d'etre to exist is to empower creators to, if not become businesses in their own right, but definitely to, become agents of not just economic activity, but also culture change. So you're looking at an artist and saying that, hey, this artist is not just somebody who makes music, but behind the scenes you learn who they are as people. They might have different interests outside just their music. You get to go deep into what their lives are like. And this is something that you didn't have in the pre-internet era of, really engaging with the person beyond what they do. And in fact, not so much in India yet, but in the West, we are seeing a lot of sort of behind the scenes content with artists where you really figure out how they make the music, how they get inspired, just randomly jamming with colleagues. So I think from that perspective, we are looking to create a whole bunch of creators who, even if immediately this song this season is not a hit, or the next one, if they take some time to mature, they're still sort of part of the ecosystem, and their journey as a creator in the long term begins here. And I think that's really what this will do. This is a great chance to create lots of future stars, even if they don't necessarily win this season or have a breakout hit in this album. It's like a long-term investment which can only pay upside.
We often talk about the creative inertia that a lot of creators have, right? All of us feel that we have a writer's block or a creator's block, but I think properties like this give this impetus and that momentum that keeps you on that track. I think that's a very beautiful, very underrated virtue that we've also seen. And is it not a surprise, or maybe is a surprise, that the people leading the pack this time, Juhi, are all women? Can we please talk about how women are leading?
So, sir, this time the hunt, right? We've had. I've used this word very lamely in the past, but I seriously mean it. Has been overwhelming, right? Both by way of the sheer numbers. We've added 100x delta to our previous participation number, and then. So the shining stars seem to be the girls. They're leading the pack, and independent music, English original. The artists this time that we've found have been I mean, they're firstly, so every corner of the country we've had participation. Goa, Nagaland, Orissa, Pune, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, you name it, right? We've had people from all over, and the quality of the girls. Every other artist that Sir was picking up, he's like, wow, where are the girls? It's been amazing. It's been really heartening to see, huh?
On a serious note, I think music has been a big vehicle for the empowerment movement, especially with young women in the last 10, 15 years. You've seen the impact somebody like Lady Gaga has had on the popular culture by breaking norms and not just being that, a nice-looking diva crooning what her traditional role is supposed to be and going out there and doing these really, how would I say, path-breaking kind of innovations in the world of music.
Do you know, sir, that our youngest participant is 14 years old?
Yeah.
And a girl, and she is
beautiful,
unbelievably talented. I mean, I had concerns. We visited her. It was just so difficult to not have her.
Right.
I mean, that talent.
We felt that we really had to really expand the age criteria because somebody like her just needed that. Maybe at an earlier stage, that sort of platform. Oh yeah, it was so heartwarming. We're like, no, we are not looking at the age now. We have to have her.
So she's not old enough to drive.
Yeah,
but she's old enough to
But you
she's
know what,
a potential next influencer ambassador.
Influencers surely, but also we have found in the auto industry also in terms of the users of the car, you see a lot of women now, which was essentially earlier thought of as a male dominated category, whether it was even car racing or if it is car driving, or for making independent choices of what type of cars to buy. And I think that's been really changing in the last few years. And I suppose what you saw in the Nexa music rounds that you were referring to is part of a broader social sort of barriers being broken and more equality sort of thing which is coming, which is really good actually from a social point of view.
Absolutely.
So that's
absolutely.
So well said.
So really, so eloquently said that the impact is on so many levels, and you see the visible, signs of it everywhere.
Absolutely.
Great. And so, what have been your personal milestones in the Nexa music journey? You've been, through the journeys of so many people, and you've seen so many people's dreams come true in front of your eyes. How
so it's really, we feel really proud and happy. I told you that on one side we also have some lifestyle platforms where we encourage new Indian talent to show their innovation. So we feel we are contributing a lot to the culture of innovation and creativity, and also to give a good platform for Indian artists and talent to come forward. And also I think we are contributing, I'm not sure whether you all agree, but I think we are contributing to the overall level of going up, not only in terms of the production, but also in terms of the scale and also the standards which are now have to match with the global standards. So earlier it was just the absence of a platform which prevented talent was always there, I'm sure, but now that the platform is there, people with talent have a sort of a equal chance, almost equal chance for them to show their talent on a global scale. And I think we are contributing to that big time. And personally, I'm very proud of this. And of course, there are brand KRAs as well. And we would like, we were discussing with the QQ how we want to take this on a bigger scale. And this time we have real good numbers that we are looking for. And while I don't want to mix this discussion with the business KRAs also, or the brand KPIs, but really it has helped and it's a win-win situation. We would like to make it much bigger, and I think with QK we are already have those plans of how to make it better. She mentioned about production quality going up, of audio, teaming up with for a better audio, also for distribution, multiplicity of platforms. We're using Rolling Stones and Rolling Stone social handles as well. So in that sense, we're trying to give this much more wider spread than what it is now. So for me, a big milestone would be when it really reaches a very high level of distribution amongst all these stakeholders.
Sure, we're on that path. We're absolutely on that. I think what it has done, Juhi, I'd like you to elaborate on this also. Create aspiration. Now, to create aspiration and to inspire for people to be aspirational towards something is a quality not many brands are able to secure. Tell me about the aspiration that you've seen in the younger breed that is coming in.
I have seen aspiration at both levels.
Wow.
It is not only, that the children or, the emerging talent that has wanted to come on and be part of the platform, but by ARSO's own admission, these children in turn have inspired him, right? And he says that I seek inspiration because they're so bold, they come with such fresh ideas, such fresh thoughts, right? And he says that I have seen that, and I take inspiration from that. So it is really amazing to see that inspiration is working at both ends, right?
That is beautiful.
And
I think he sees some of himself in it because
Yes.
he broke out onto the
Yes.
stage as an 18,
Absolutely.
19-year-old. And that time it was such a revelation to all of us that such a young person could produce these fresh sounds.
Yes, absolutely. And the ability of the platform to actually discover talent and then change their lives, right? I mean, we have an artist who has today gotten her big film break. She is now traveling on international gigs. She's on the live gig circuit. She's producing independent albums, all because she was discovered on Nexa Music. So life-changing, right? And such inspiration for others. The success of this talent, right? From who's discovered on our platform, which is amazing.
Beautiful. Now, I think I want to hear from everyone about what's next. Abhi, what's next for Kyuki? What's next for the synergy, this collaboration, and for Nexa Music?
I think there's lots of more stuff to be discovered. We've been speaking about many new ideas. The future of music, one part of it at least in terms of giving your fan base ownership could be in the metaverse and the NFT space. So maybe we do something in that going ahead. As Shashank-san said, that there's some very interesting ideas around creating some of their showrooms and the really beautiful spaces that they've created as places to perform. That's something we're keen to work out on. But I think the big thing for us is, as Juhi said, some people have broken out, some people have made careers out of it. But if we can get that holy grail of getting a real global star out of this property, and it's a matter of
Asian
Billboard. Let's start at the continental level and then go and conquer the world. I think it's a matter of when and not if.
Right.
We just keep at it, create some great music, and hopefully with some of these stars coming out of the platform, we'll be there sooner than we expected.
Beautiful. And so what are your aspirations? I know that
Actually, very similar. First, we want to make it really big. I think we are on that path already. We have some great ideas. He mentioned some of them. My personal thought is that if you make it big and if you make it inspirational, it has a momentum of its own. And then you will see what are, a couple of stars who have really made it big because of Nexa Music. You'll find suddenly a lot more stars coming through, and that has a momentum of its own. And then we can look at those global, limelight, the Asian Billboard, and who knows, yeah. So that is what
I'm sure it's happening very soon. It's coming our way. Juhi, your aspirations?
My aspirations, Nexa Music, # bigger, better, brighter.
It's brilliant. Great. I think this is happening, and it's happening in a way that is organic, heartwarming, and truly inspirational. I wish all of you the very best.
Thank you very much.
We know that change happens when stakeholders come together, when synergies inspire further positive change. This is Nexa Music Season 2 podcast. My name is Nirmika Singh from Rolling Stone India, and today I had Shashank Srivastav, Abhimanyu Radhakrishnan, and Juhi Mehta. Thank you.